And here comes two of my favorite people.
Well, it all started with Punky Brewster and Soleil Moon Frye, who embodied and brought that character to life in the 1980s. And she was in the public eye through her teen years. And in the 90s, lucky for us, she happened to bring a video character everywhere she went. And then,
Oh, I'm starting to cry.
and trust me, I would know. It's so authentic.
Okay, I was crying before.
Gift birthday into our hearts as the ultimate 80s icon.
No, I'm starting to cry.
Soleil became magazine covers, paparazzi photos, and on the bedroom walls of young girls and boys across the country throughout the 90s. But being a child star is rarely an easy road. And in her new documentary, Kid 90, Soleil sifts through the hundreds of hours of personal footage.
It'll come back.
Feels unimaginable pain, like surviving sexual assault and losing a close friend to suicide.
By 18, I was ready to move out of Hollywood. I experienced pain. I had lost some of my innocence.
Oh, come on. Every time a semi goes by on the highway.
Optimistic. Even her name, Soleil, is French for the word sun, which is a perfect fit for the sunny human that we have loved for a long time. Please welcome someone. I feel like I'm just gonna jump into the. Welcome Soleil Moon Frye. I love you so much, and I watched the documentary Kid 90, and it's so powerful. It's so good. It's so made me cry already. I'm in tears. Well, I was with all the same people in the same scenes at the exact same time. You're born in 76, right?
Yeah, and of course we were little together, and then we grew up in the wild world, right?
I mean, the first time
Wow, there's Drew with her on the
when I
left.
was, I don't know, 6 or 7, there's house, Sean, who was in E.T.
I remember that. I remember you telling me that story.
Was like, hi, I ran away to your house. He was like, okay, come in. And then my mom came walking through the door an hour later, and I was like, Sean, you backstabber. But one of the things that really struck me is because you had a video camera in the 90s when no one else did. You were a total pioneer. And the reaction, especially with the fact that all of the peers, kids, no one thought that the camera was a weapon.
Right? Pretty social. Kids. And I don't think it's just a Hollywood thing. For me, that was what was so important. Is like we were just kids growing up together. So it was.
One of the things that I loved hearing you say was that you were really happy when you were working. You know, like the Brewster years were positive.
Come on.
You talk about that now. I love that.
Absolutely. I mean, I was so fortunate to have a really incredible experience. I had begged my mom to get into acting, you know, watching my brothers and my dad. I wanted to be an actor so bad, and I was really shy, and then somehow in front of the camera, like I came out of my shell. So it was something I really wanted to do. And we had pogo sticks on the set and scooters, and so it was a very kid-friendly experience, which I think was very different for me than for many of my peers. And so I was really grateful, and also really made sure I always had my childhood. I went to summer camp every.
There we go. That's better with the complexions.
Since I started going through puberty and went through my awkward stage from being this little girl to then all of a sudden people treating me much more like an adult, and that, of course, led to so much insecurity and self-doubt and all of those things that we so often go through as kids.
Allow me to give a little context to this. Take a look.
So the roles that I was getting offered at 13, 14 years old are all roles, and I'm 13. Childhood to almost being forced to adulthood.
That happens. I can corroborate it. It happened to me too. And
1,000%.
you're not told that that's not okay for people to do, or there's not a real conversation box on the corner of the street with how you're supposed to deal with it, and then you dealt with it in your own ways. You know, you took matters into your own hands.
Yes, you know, my back was hurting, I had all these medical things, and I ended up doing my breast reduction. Then it became, you know, kind of public humor and something that was always brought up as part of who I was, and I was really proud of it. It's just interesting how it made me feel about it. And I think the same things go on with young people today, magnified times a million because of social media and living lives through filters. And I think it's really important that we have this dialogue because it's timeless.
If it's okay, we're going to run to commercial break. More with Soleil Moon Frye, my old friend, when we come back.
If you're